Hello friends, this is Normal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to do the detailed and full review of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So we have the 5.5 inch variant of the Zenfone 3 Max, and this is priced close to 18k, and this comes with a 5.5 inch full HD display. So that's a specialty of this device when compared to the 5.2 inch variant which had an HD display. So in this video we'll talk about the pros and cons of the device. We already done the detailed gaming review and also the camera performance test. So in this video we'll discuss the design, the build quality, software performance, and the camera and also the battery life of this device. So we'll also see if this device is really good value for money. So without any further delay, let's get started with a detailed review. So first up, let's talk about the design and build quality. So if you see the previous generation Zenphones, the Zenfone 5 and the Zenfone 2 series, also the Zenfone Max, design was never really a great priority for the ASUS, and you could see that the previous generation Zenphones were bulky and a lot of weight, and they were made of plastic, so that was not really a great build quality on the previous generation Zenphones. But now with the Zenfone 3 series, ASUS has given a lot of priority for the design, and you could see metallic and glass finishing. When we reviewed the ASUS Zenfone 3, we said that that's one of the really good designs. Now ASUS Zenfone 3 Max also comes with a really good design. You could see that it's a metallic chassis, unibody design, curved edges, and overall the fit and finish and looks are also quite good. So that has been one of the really good aspects about the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, and the design looks really premium and good overall in terms of the build quality as well. And you could see that power and volume keys are on the right side, the speaker unit and the micro USB charging slot on the bottom, and on top we have the 3.5mm audio jack. On the rear panel we have the 16 megapixel rear camera, dual LED flash and laser autofocus, and the fingerprint scanner along with the ASUS branding. So overall design and build quality is pretty good on this device. It gives a really good feel along with the metallic construction. So that is the design and build quality of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Now let's talk about the display. So when we reviewed the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max 5.2 inch variant, it had a 5.2 inch HD display. That's a 720p display. But unlike that device, now we have a full HD panel on this device. So it's a 5.5 inches in screen size. It's a slightly bigger display when compared to the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max 5.2 inch variant. And this also has a 1080p display. And the display is IPS LCD panel and looks really good. It's a crisp and a vibrant display. The colors are really good, and the overall touch response also feels quite good. It's a 2.5D curved glass on top of the display, and the overall feel of the display is really good. So display again is one of the good aspects about the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Now let's talk about the software and the performance. So first up, let's see the software. So we already talked about the ASUS Zen UI, and this is the latest version of Zen UI. So you could see that there are lots of changes, and it's a more polished UI when compared to the previous generation. It has this custom notification panel, quick toggles are there, and if you press the home screen, you have a lot of additional options to edit the home screen, add icon packs. There is Zen UI theming support, locking apps. Then there are lots of preferences to choose from. There is also support for themes. You can download additional themes. So it's a really custom UI, and if you go to the settings panel, and you could see that there are lots of new features being added, and also some useful features like Zen motion. There is power management options and easy mode, kids mode. So these are really good options available on the Zen UI. Now if you talk about the other aspects, one of the major issues with the Zen UI is the number of bloatware it ships. You could see that a lot of unwanted apps are there, and not too many apps are really needed on this device. You could actually install it from the Play Store, but ASUS is preloading with a lot of bloatwares, and some of these are not uninstallable. You can hide the apps or disable them. They are not completely uninstallable. So that's one issue with the Zen UI. ASUS could have done much better with this bloatware issue, and we are hoping it would be fixed in future. Apart from that, the Zen UI looks quite good. It's not as polished as the Xiaomi's MIUI, but definitely offers good amount of features. So that's the Zen UI on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. Now talking about the performance, so this phone is powered by a Snapdragon 430 octa-core chipset. It's an 8-core Cortex A53 chipset, which is clocked at 1.4 GHz, coupled with Adreno 505 GPU with 3 GB of RAM and 32 GB of storage. Now the day-to-day performance of this device was quite good. There was no major lags or issues, and in day-to-day experience there was no major lags, and it did perform almost all tasks without much issues. But when you push it harder for heavy multitasking and gaming, running a lot of apps at the same time, you could see slight lag when switching apps, and that is attributed to the fact that this is not a really powerful chipset. This is kind of a mid-range chipset, not really suited for this price category. We also have seen the Xiaomi's Redmi 3S Prime with the same chipset that's almost half the pricing. So the chipset is not really powerful, and it's not really suited for heavy tasks. And talking about the gaming performance of this device, it is quite good gaming performance, not really class leading, but definitely not bad. It is quite decent overall performance. You could see some frame skips here and there, and not a major issue though, but again a decent performer, that's only what we say. It's not really a good chipset in terms of the pricing aspect. That's 18K. For that pricing you also get this Lenovo's Z2 Plus, which has the Snapdragon 820 chipset. So apart from that, this also comes with 3GB RAM, 32GB storage. You have a dual SIM card, micro SD card, which is a hybrid SIM card, expandable up to 256GB, and there's also 4G LTE support. So in that aspect, this device is quite good. The call quality on the device was really good, no major issues, and the speaker performance was again quite decent. So that was the software and performance of this device. So overall we would say software wise it's a quite good device, but still needs some more improvements to make it a really good UI. And performance is quite decent overall, not really class leading, because the Snapdragon 430 is quite an average processor. Now talking about the camera on this device, so we have a 16 megapixel camera, dual tone dual LED flash, laser autofocus, face detection autofocus, and also a front facing 8 megapixel shooter. So that's quite an upgrade over the 5.2 inch variant as well as the previous generation ASUS Zenfone Max. Now talking about the camera interface, so we have seen this camera interface on almost all Zenphones. It's a feature rich UI, a lot of additional features are being offered. We have manual mode, HDR Pro mode, super resolution mode, which can capture images with stitching up to 64 megapixels. So that's quite good. There is also support for selfie experience. Some effects are included. So in terms of the features being offered, it's definitely one of the good camera interfaces and does the job pretty well. Now talking about the camera samples which we have taken with this device, that's where the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max disappoints slightly, because the overall clarity of the photos and the sharpness levels are quite good, but the color quality is not impressive. You could see that there is an yellowish tint added to almost all photos. This has been the case with most of the Zenphones. The previous generation Zenfone Max also had this issue. So that is still not solved on this device, and you could see that a lot of photos have turned yellowish, and that happens in bright sunlight. So that's not a good aspect about this device. Also the daylight shots were quite decent, but the low light abilities were not really impressive, and you could see some noise creeping in extreme low light conditions. So overall the camera is just an average camera. It can be fixed with software upgrades, and we are expecting ASUS to do that fixing in future updates. So overall the selfie experience of the front facing camera again was quite decent, not really the class leading performance in terms of the selfie experience. So that is the camera aspect. So we already done a detailed camera review. You can also check out that video to have a look at different camera samples taken with this device. Now finally talking about the battery. So this phone comes with a 4100 mAh battery. That's a downgrade over the 5000 mAh capacity on the previous generation ASUS devices. That's the ASUS Zenfone Max. Now the 4100 mAh battery can provide you with almost good battery life. It's almost 1.5 days of battery life can be easily provided with this device, and also we have a lot of additional battery options included. So you can also have a look at those battery options in the Zen UI. So that helps you in getting better battery life. Apart from that, you can also reverse charge from this device. That means without OTG cable supported, you can charge other smartphones with this device. So that's an added feature on the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max. So the battery performance on the device is really good. Now finally talking about the fingerprint scanner. So the fingerprint scanner is located on the rear panel and does the job quite well. You can add the multiple fingerprints, and the performance was quite good. It was quite decent in unlocking the devices, and the fingerprint scanner performance is quite good. So now we have covered almost all aspects about this device. So is it really a good value for money device? So this device is priced higher for a Snapdragon 430 device. The pricing is quite steep. It's almost 18k. For 18k you get the Lenovo Z2 Plus with Snapdragon 820. We also have this Leica La Max 2 and also Xiaomi Mi 5 almost in the below 20k price point. So in that aspect, the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max is priced very high. And the positive aspects about this device is good design and build. It's a solid build quality, and the display also looks quite good. The software is definitely impressive because of the features being offered, and also the battery life is really good. Now the cons of this device is the pricing. That's a major issue. It's really priced higher and a lot of bloatwares are included, and the performance is just average, not really that class leading performance because it's a Snapdragon 430, and also the camera was quite disappointing. So these were the pros and cons of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, and at pricing of rupees 18,000, it's tough to recommend this device because there are a lot of alternative devices available. So if you're not really particular about the high battery capacity, we would suggest you to look for other options as well. If you're still looking for ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, then be sure to buy the 5.5-inch variant, which has better features in offer, even though the pricing is higher than the 5.2-inch variant. So that is a detailed review with pros and cons of the ASUS Zenfone 3 Max, the 5.5-inch variant. So hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.